It is the season of reviews, everybody, and the season of free-to-play games, it seems like, and very extensive Battle Pass games. Bless you.
Thank you.
And today we're going to be talking about a game that I had no idea this game was coming out, but it's a game called Once Human, and all of a sudden I started seeing videos talking about it, and I think, Jason, you mentioned some TikToks that you saw of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where the heck did this game come from? And it's from a studio called Starry Studio and NetEase Games. It's eventually also going to be a mobile game, which I don't know how it's going to be a mobile game, but that's also kind of crazy to think about. Came out July 9th, and it's free to play on PC only right now. So this game is an MMO. And I originally looked at it, I was like, oh, it's just another survival game, whatever. But it's like full on, like it's way more MMO than it is anything else. It's got all the MMO aspects. I think it's most closely associated to New World and its mechanics and like kind of its progression and like the way you kind of explore the world and stuff like that. But the story is a mix of Control and Death Stranding, which I think is kind of a cool concept. It's got this weird like they call it, I think it's like an eldritch horror kind of vibe or whatever, but the Control aspect comes in that like you can do telekinesis and you can like grab shit around you and like levitate and like throw it at these weird demented zombie enemy creatures that are running around the base. The Death Stranding vibe comes in with the fact that you have like basically a backpack on the back of yourself that you hold these deviants, which are like these little like Pokemon creatures, kind of like you have the little baby fetus on your person. No, that's just one of the deviants. It's the first deviant you get.
Different ones.
Yeah, I've
Grass
done
type, ghost type.
That's all.
Flame type.
They're not. Yeah, they're different types, but yeah, there's different types that you uncover.
All origamis.
Nope. They're all completely different types of characters. I have a little robot. I have a little guy that's got a hooded helmet that's got a single eyeball on it. I have a big glue or like a glue? No, not a glue.
Can you use like deviants as like battle buddies or anything, or like?
So deviants will have.
I didn't realize there was like a Pokemon aspect.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
There's a Pokemon aspect. So
origami butterflies.
The deviants come in 3 different forms. So there's combat deviants that you can equip to what they call your cradle, which is your little baby holding backpack thing that you run around with. And then you have the territory deviant that runs around your territory and collects shit for you.
Okay.
And then you have the what's the third one called? Crafting. It's a crafting deviant.
Palworld.
It's very much a Palworld mechanic, 100%. Yeah.
I find that so because I've seen videos of this, but I haven't seen any of the deviants yet.
It's because it's such a secondary mechanic to the game, but it's super, super helpful. But it's not like the main pull of the game. Like there's a few deviants scattered around the world, but or deviations, but there's not a ton of them. Most of them are based on the story progression, but you're not like running around. You just see like Pokemon everywhere. You like literally, I've seen like 5 of them in the 12 hours I've played the game, or 12 or 13 hours I played the game.
How
so
do you
they're not
catch
super
the
common.
Deviants?
You just walk up. Once you have to do something to get them to like you. One of them you had to like do an emote around it. Another one you had to like give it like or something like that. It's something that it wants.
So a favor of some sort.
Yeah, and then you go up to it and you hold F and it like does like the percentage of catching or whatever, and then it like does the whole little circle thing and then it captures it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the deviations is one path of it, but basically what you are in this story is a meta human, and I don't know what exactly that means. I kind of forgot that part of the early story, but oh, thank you.
No.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like a DC. Well, it's a term, but
yeah,
like the Flash is a meta human.
Yeah. Okay. So you open up in this like laboratory thing, and you're awoken, and you meet this like flying bird creature that like basically tells you, this is kind of like the bird in Valheim in a way, but this bird is basically somebody that always is with you that you can summon whenever, and this bird helps you like learn the game a little bit early on and kind of tells the story like in Valheim. Yeah. There's a lot of game like ideas pulled from a lot of different things here, but you pull up in this place, you're in this lab, and you realize very quickly that there's this like almost different, this portal-y like kind of alternate universe reality thing that happens. So there's a point where you can press Q and you can snap your finger and it opens up like the other world realm where you can see glows of like things that exist in the world.
So it's like an upside down, like Stranger Things almost?
Yeah. That's the other piece. Yeah, it's like a Stranger Things a little bit. Yeah.
This game's a lot, man.
It's a lot of shit going on in here. So the Q thing is really nice. It's basically like your detective vision you have in Batman or whatever. You can like look around and you can see like, oh, there's an orb thing up here. There's an orb thing over here. But sometimes there's stories where like you literally teleport to another area, an iteration of the space you're in at another time. Like there was one mission I did where I was in a hospital that was all like broken down and falling apart. And then I went to touch this deviated object and it suddenly switched. It's really like the altered world event things that exist in Control, which is why I was like
AWEs.
The AWEs, yeah. It literally transported me to another realm where the hospital was suddenly clean and nice again, but I was trapped inside of it and I had to figure out how to get out. And there was this whole like messed up kind of like, process of like trying to figure out this puzzle to get out of this hospital and stuff like that and back to the real world. But that's the story is generally right now you wake up in the middle of nowhere. You have to brace yourself for the cruelty of nature from monsters of lack of food. However, there's this influence of this thing called stardust. So the whole planet, humans, animals, planets are all infested by an alien creature called stardust. And as a metahuman, you can survive the contamination and use the power of stardust. You play alone or join others to fight, build, explore. When the world is in chaos, you're its last hope. Stardust's influence does not restrict to living things. It also affects the soil and the water. So eating polluted food and drinking dirty water will reduce your sanity. When your sanity drops, your max HP would drop accordingly. To eat or not eat is a question. So there's this ongoing story. There's the thing that's kind of a controversial fact of this game is that it's going to have seasonal content that'll do server resets, like Rust, if you've ever played Rust.
Oh.
Yeah. So what that means is that every season, which I think is like 3 months or something like that, the game's going to reset and your character's going to start back to level 1. So just like in Diablo 2, where like, you have to build a new character or whatever. But that doesn't mean everything goes away. You save all the blueprints you've unlocked. You can save your house as a blueprint and respawn that house. And then there's this thing called Eternal Land where you can go back to Eternal Land and anything you've collected, you can save in Eternal Land and carry over season to season. So anything you bring back to that space will live on forever. But your character itself will start back to zero so that nobody is like playing the game after each season, coming in and being like, oh, there's like everybody's level 100. This sucks. You know what I mean? And then you also start from a different area of the map, which is also kind of cool. So you get to explore different
Kind of
areas.
like Destiny, every season they reset. Everyone starts at the bottom.
Exactly.
Started from the bottom now. Yeah.
That's right. Yep. 100%. So all the creatures and stuff like that are all infected with weird shit. You probably saw the suitcase guy or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a guy that has a lamplight on top of his head that you can like, once you kill him, you can pick up his lamplight and then use it to like do like an Alan Wake kind of like stun effect or whatever.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of interesting, like weird kind of gameplay mechanics. Really, at the end of the day, what you'll eventually be doing is just collecting weapons that you craft or find and use them to take out bad guys. Because you can have a full lineup of weapons in here from all kinds of melee weapons. Plus, there's like assault rifles, SMGs, snipers, shotguns that you can either find in the world or you make them yourself from your crafting benches once you unlock the ability to craft said things. You also have to craft your ammo, but ammo is like super easy to craft. It's like stupid simple, which is awesome because that would have pissed me off if I had to like craft like ammo like all the time and stuff like that. But I basically every time I go out, I craft some ammo and it costs me very little to craft like 600 rounds of bullets and stuff. It is a survival game, so you do have to monitor your state with food, sanity, like hydration, and then like health and stuff like that. But it's like very, very minor. You basically every like half hour, it's like I got to drink some water and I got to eat some food. That's about it. And the water is so easy to get because you build a stove early on and you just take dirty water from any water source in the game. And then eventually you can actually build a rainfall collector that just collects dirty water all day. So I come back, I got like 700 dirty waters right now that I can just make like 700 boiled waters and like never have to worry about water ever again.
Okay.
But the survival mechanics are there, but they're not like hampering the game in any capacity. That's like, oh man, this is super frustrating. It's just an added thing to kind of keep track of and monitor as you're playing through the game. The game has full on building in the game, like very extensive building system. I was very surprised. And as you're playing through the game, there's this thing called the journey that is a series of quest lines that help you to learn how to play the game. So there's like one on crafting, and you do like 5 different things, and you unlock points that will help you to upgrade your character and stuff like that through the crafting journey quest line.
So
or
that's
whatever.
almost like Palworld, where you like accomplish little things and it teaches you
Yeah.
things, and then you upgrade your. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there's a full skill tree here. So there's early on, you don't have a lot of stuff unlocked. And then eventually you unlock more stuff in the different areas of the skill tree for infrastructure, crafting, survival, this, that, whatever. And you build up the tree based off of leveling up your character and accomplishing objectives and stuff. Because this is a free to play game. So there is a battle pass, which the battle pass is incredibly rewarding for not paying for anything. Like I get all kinds of shit from the battle pass by just playing the game, which is really cool. There is a store with the cosmetics out the ass that you can like, if you don't want your character looking like what you picked up off the ground, you can buy like something.
Pants. I haven't found pants in the short time.
So I did
played.
find out there is a thing with it. So I spent 10 hours. You can craft pants.
Yeah.
But you can't craft the basic pants at your main base. It requires some like fabric that I didn't find. But if I create a camp, I can craft pants like easily. And I was like, damn it, I wish I'd known this earlier because I would have had pants the whole
Just
time.
walking around without pants.
Yeah. I'm just
wrong
like,
with that?
yeah. I just got my underwear hanging out. You know, it's great. You know,
I mean, I was pretty attractive.
Nobody wants
so
to fight a naked guy.
I was,
yeah.
except the demons.
Yeah, I was really surprised about the pants thing. But then so they have these camps that you can create when you're about to enter in like an area that's going to be hard. You drop a camp down, and that creates a spawn point for you.
So in order to create a camp, you have to have the correct resources.
Yeah, it's like 5 wood and
just like
5
New World.
5 rock. Yeah, it's like a New World. Yeah, and you can also do some very basic crafting here, like your boiled water, your arrows, this, that, whatever. But it's ultimately a spawn point. You can always spawn these. It deletes the old one, but you can always spawn one at a new location wherever you are, and then go in and do your battle and stuff like that. The thing that I really love about how this game kind of operates, because like there's a shit ton of stuff in this game. There's a lot to do, a lot to explore, a lot of side quests, a lot of leveling systems and stuff like that. It's the most approachable and accessible game I've played for taking away a lot of the stuff that frustrates me in all these other games. One thing is mobility. Getting around the world is like always a challenge. Like New World, I stopped playing because I pick up a quest and it's like go halfway across the map to fight these 10 bad guys and then bring it back to the main world. In this one, there's 2 things that they fix with that. One is a vehicle. You get a motorcycle early on that I can spawn anywhere I am.
Do you need gas for it or anything?
Yes. But gas is also pretty plentiful.
Okay.
And eventually what you can do is you can actually build an iron or a mining station to actually mine gas for you. So you never have to worry about getting gas out in the world. But you can just like run around the world and find like a trunk in a car and then grab gas from it. And pick up the gas and then be on your way. But the motorcycle is super easy, and you can also upgrade the motorcycle to increase durability, increase speed, this, that, whatever, to get around the world. And there's also fast travel points you unlock. So your base itself is a fast travel point. So you can always go back to your base every 5 minutes. You can teleport back to your base. But there's also these little fast travel points scattered around the world. So if you go to a fast travel teleporting station and you've unlocked another one, you can fast travel around to the different segments of the world, which is really nice. So you don't have to really spend a lot of time like traveling super long distances to go and do objectives.
Okay.
And become like super encumbered over time. And then after that, it's just like doing a bunch of story stuff, you know, doing all the side quests. The main quests are dialogue driven. Side quests are not. Side quests are just like you read text on a screen, which is kind of annoying. It's like some of the story stuff is kind of like, it's whatever. The main story bit is pretty interesting so far. I just unlocked the new world, the new area to go travel to. Haven't been there yet, but that's my goal. Here's capturing a little deviation. But I haven't unlocked the new world yet, but I've been traveling around and like doing all the quests and stuff that are in the space that I'm at. And it's been 12 to 14 hours of just the first region. And there's like, I think 6 or 7 other regions to go explore. And they haven't unlocked portions of the map yet because that's for later seasons.
I got you.
That will open up and stuff like that. So there's a lot here. One thing I want to mention too before I open up for questions. One is this is an MMO, so there's 6,000 to 8,000 players per server. So it's a very extensive server. And when you drop into a world, because the servers are broken up into worlds, so when you're in a world, people's houses are everywhere. They're like all over the place. It's crazy. Like I've never seen a game like this where it's like people set up territory in a location,
See it.
and there's like you walk around. It's like literally you're walking through people's settlements all over the world. And they're just
it's like
set up everywhere.
Shantytown,
Yeah,
everywhere. And that's the one thing I really didn't like about this game. It's like it's cool. Like in Destiny, you only have like 16 people maybe in a world, and obviously Destiny's different.
Yeah,
but like you're limited to how many people you see. Here, I'm sure you're limited to how many people you see, but you get to see everyone else's building. And for me, I'm just like, I just want to see the world for what it is. And everywhere I turn, I just see all these houses just stacked next to each other. But I'm just like, this is too much. Like,
Can you raid someone's house?
no.
you
So
can walk up to it, but you can't do it. I don't think you can do anything.
in PvE you cannot, but there's also a PvP version of this game where if you opt to when you join a server, there's PvE servers and there's PvP servers.
So there is PvP.
There is a PvP option if you want to play that. I don't want to play that because that would frustrate me. But that's I think why that mechanic exists, because when you're playing PvP, you can go and raid other people's bases and steal their shit.
So it's almost like
It is Rust in that way, yeah. But there is not, because there's also a whole like defensive tree of stuff you can unlock to set up turrets around your base
Yeah, I
and
saw
walls
that.
and shit like that.
Yeah.
So on the PvE side, there's still a reason to have that stuff, and that is through when you start. I think it's when you're mining the Stardust or whatever. Or like you get a machine that you set up in your base that will basically turn like materials you collect into like useful stuff. And whenever you do that, it alerts the world that
you're doing
there's
something.
something happening here. So then it becomes a horde mode where you have to defend your base.
Interesting.
While this stuff is crafting into the resource that you needed to turn it into. So there's people in like late game and stuff like that have like defensive positions all the way around their base. They have turrets on every corner, and they just have to sit there and defend for like 2 or 3 waves of bad guys while you're crafting this stuff. So that's a late game kind of mechanic, is the horde defense system, essentially. There's also a bunch of bosses in here. There's like big, huge, massive bosses that you fight in every region that are very hard, and you can do them over and over again if you want to. So it's got that whole like kind of I don't know, like a Dead Souls mechanic, if you will, kind of thing, or really more like a Remnant boss kind of battle. Not as cool as Remnant bosses, not even close actually, but they're still interesting. They're not just like the standard. I mean, they look nice and more interesting and stuff like that. So anyway, I've been talking y'all's ear off a lot. What questions y'all have? Thoughts? Feedback?
It's too much for me, this game.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be too much. There's too much involved with the deviance, involved with the survival aspect, involved with the building a home and stuff like that. I do like the fact that you can, like, once you build your home, you can do a blueprint of it, so you can like lay it out into wherever else you want to go. You just need the resources for it. But I think
quality of life changes in this game is nice.
yeah. But what's awesome about this game is free to play, and there's all this stuff in it. It looks super fun, but it's just too much for me to handle at the moment.
I feel like it is something that like to really get a lot of, I mean, there's people that I've seen that are like level 50s or whatever the max level is in this game that have like all kinds of shit collected, and it gets complicated after a while, because there's a part where you have to start dealing with like electrical wiring and stuff like that, and you have to deal with all the mining situation that I mentioned earlier, and more layers of like crafting you have to do to like build bigger and better things. But one other thing that I really love about this is that there's actually a lot of stuff for me that I've been able to find that like I really, really enjoyed my time with this game. And I'm shocked, really, honestly shocked how much it is. But they answer so many things that so many other games have been problematic for me. One of which that's also really nice is like, let's say you guys jump in the game, late game or whatever, you haven't been playing for a while. I have the ability, if you're in my hive, which the hive is like a team that you create, that you guys are like looking at like, what the hell is going on in this thing?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening right now.
But there's this hive that you can create. There's war bands, which is like your clan, your guild. And then the hive is like your team. So like we can get the 5 or 6 of us in there. And then if we're in a hive, you can share anything with the hive. So yeah. So for example, like if I have been playing the game forever, I can share all of the things that I've unlocked that you guys haven't unlocked yet that you can then use in your world. So for example, I was watching somebody play. There's a paid cosmetic you can get for your building materials that's glass walls to make a really cool modern glass base. When you unlock those glass walls, I can share the glass wall material with my friends.
With your friends.
And they can use that same material, not have to have unlocked it.
Okay.
So as long as you're within the same hive, you're able to share resources amongst one another.
That brings a question up. If let's say I do play this game, can I just jump back into if you're not playing, can I still jump back into the world
and that's why I like it over Palworld because yes, you can. It's a person. Everything lives in the server. Yeah,
that's
so we can all jump in whenever we want and play on the space. We have our protected space, and you don't have to worry about somebody hosting the game like you do in Valheim or Palworld.
That might change my mind a little bit because I feel like if I want to play and no one else wants to play, I can still jump in and like craft some stuff, do some stuff. Yeah, because I enjoyed doing that portion of Palworld, but it was annoying because when Brett wasn't available, I couldn't just jump in and like, because I had some like 15 minutes of just like, hey, let me just craft this up and stuff like that.
There's guys with guns.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where are these people at? We're just fighting like.
So that's like later game stuff. So
infected with Stardust.
Can you play it with a controller? Is it controller friendly? Do you know?
That's a great question, actually. I don't think
with
it is.
third-person shooters, I feel like a controller is a little bit
I wouldn't think so.
better. I wouldn't think so either.
Or something like this.
And I feel like this game is a good mix between Division and Control with the Remnant themes. Remnant themes.
Yes, Remnant themes, definitely.
But Division style, because I love how it looks.
I mean, you can't hug walls or anything, but
there's no cover shooting or anything like that. But it does have the vibe of
like the style
going into a region and like taking up. And it has the thing that for me is like crack for me, where you go into a base and you have like these 6 objectives you have to do in an area, like we do in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. It has that. So there's a bunch of different territories you go to that says you have to find this mythical chest, these 2 armor chests. You have to unlock this rift thing. And then once you do all of that, it like checks a box off in that settlement and you've like claimed it basically. And then inside that, there's also side quests. And what's nice is like, there's a lot in this game you can do solo and not have to rely on other people being there.
Yeah.
But when you get to the boss battles and stuff, this is the thing I was talking about, that
you want peeps.
Yeah, you want peeps there. Yeah. So
okay, I tell you what,
you can try it.
I want to try it only if I can play it with a controller.
So yeah, you can't. I'm sorry.
Then I'm not gonna. I can't. I fucking can't. Then it's just.
I mean, there is a way to do it, but it's like you have to do some hacks to make it work.
Yeah, I'm good. Maybe whenever.
I get
controller support. I just can't do it with mouse and keyboard. Y'all can hate me in the comments for it all you want, but it's just it's what I grew up on, so I'm still getting the hang of it.
I get it. But I don't know. I need to hit up Mac in Discord because he's been playing this a lot, and I want to find some people more people to jump in with.
Here's comparison from Fallout 76 in this.
That's another thing I was going to say. With like, I was thinking of Fallout as well. I think they did pretty damn well with this game. It looks great. It seems to play great. I mean, I haven't heard anything too negative about it. What is your negative thing about it?
I have 4 bullet points.
Okay.
It's a little easy repetitive in the early game. But that actually did kind of go away now that I've gone to level 15, 20 kind of stuff. It's gone a lot harder.
Okay.
Not significantly harder. It's still like I can just go around just like go crazy and stuff like that. But there are some hard bits that have shown up. The houses being scattered everywhere is kind of annoying sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's
because there a lot of times what people will do is they just like set up a bare bones base, but it takes up space.
This guy,
yeah,
bare bones,
and that's kind of annoying. There are some glitches in the building system. The building system honestly is very, very good, and the way it locks things together. And they have this was also really cool. So they have in the build mode, when you enter build mode, you can press tilde, and it creates basically God mode, where you can leave your character and fly around your base
hover
and
around?
build however you want. And there's like you hold space to raise and lower. It's makes it so easy for building stuff.
Okay.
You can demolish anything in the base. You can remove anything in the base, which most survival games you cannot do that. You have to like tear it down and like lose some resources.
Yeah.
And this like you can. There's no penalty to where you put stuff because you can always move it wherever you want, which is great.
Yeah, because I always get something new and I regret putting something somewhere. That's why I just build a little shed in a bed, and I'm like, I don't care about the rest.
And then sleeping, you don't have to sleep together with your friends. Sleeping, all it does is you sleep for 10 seconds, and then it gives you buffs when you go out in the battlefield. And you'll notice too when people are like setting up their deviations, different deviations have different. They do have like the mood settings, like Palworld does. So you'll notice some people put like little colored lights over top of it.
Yeah.
It's because some of those deviants want that colored light for their sleeping. So you put like a red light over them, and they have a higher mood, growth capability and stuff like that. But there's even a mod system to the guns in here. There's like attachments and shit, skins and all that. Like it's insane what they put in this game, and it all feels pretty good. And it was confusing learning the new mechanics a little bit at the beginning, but they do a good job at doling out the journey mechanic stuff to entice you to do things to figure out how the game plays, which I appreciated. But I mean, like for a free to play game, man, I played 6 hours the last 2 Fridays, like straight.
Nice.
And I just couldn't stop playing. I was like addicted to it. And I don't play games like this ever. And I was just like shocked. I mean, 1, it's a survival game, and 2, it's an MMO. Both of those are like not Brett's pedigree at all, but I'm having a blast with this game. It's a lot of fun. So,
Okay. Is this something you want to stream on Tuesday?
we have other games we want to stream on Tuesday that I think would be great streaming games, like
that?
Chained Together.
Oh yes, that's right. I forgot about that.
You're off on that on Tuesday, right?
I am.
You want
Is
to
it
play
just-
Chained Together?
Sure.
All right.
It's $5 a pop.
$5.
So
Chain me
it's
to
super
you.
cheap, huh?
Chain me to you.
Yeah, that's
Chain me
right.
to you.
You got to
Alright.
get out of hell, man.
Don't let me forget to download it today. Then.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's Once Human. Any other thoughts, feedback?
Highly
y'all wanna add?
recommend. Game of the year.
Not game of the year, but I mean, it's definitely one of my top. It'll probably be on my top 10 list maybe this year.
What rating would you get out of a 10?
Probably right now an 8.5,
Oh, that's good.
maybe. Yeah.
I can see that.
Pretty freaking
Yeah.
high.
It's not like I would, because I mean, I'm such a big story dude. Like, but I think the ideas presented here are really solid. There's a lot of, it's a lot of weird shit. And I love that. It's
That's
just
awesome.
once you get into dialogue and stuff, like some of it's kind of lame or whatever. But
Did you guys find a little mascot dinosaur? I don't know if it's a deviant or not.
it's deviant, a
is?
deviation. But yeah, I haven't
like
found it
people are
yet.
freaking out. It's like this giant little mascot guy in a dinosaur suit, and he's just dancing around.
A giant guy?
Well, not giant. He's just mascot
Yeah, I know.
size.
Yeah, he
yeah,
looks like a
okay.
big
Yeah.
purple dinosaur. What? Not Barney,
Green.
but yeah,
Green dinosaur.
green dinosaur. Yeah, yeah. I've seen him in the trailers and stuff like that, but I haven't found him yet.
Okay.
Oh, you can also glide when you jump off a
Yeah, I
roof. Just
saw
press
that.
space bar and just glide down.
It's nice.
It's kind of cool. So
Legend of Zelda.
yeah, tons of quality of life mechanics in this game. It's kind of
awesome.
insane. So
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that this is doing well from what I can tell, and not that many complaints about it. So
so in September they're gonna have the Mayflies and Rosetta will be locked in a rivalry, and you must align with one of them in that PvE story campaign. Their interests collide as they want to seek to harness the power of a breed of deviations known as prism deviations to avert the imminent catastrophe looming over the world. Oh man. So
and the seasons are free as well, or
yeah, free to play. It's just
blast.
there's a battle pass with each season, and the battle pass, most of what that does is it gives you these things called silver keys. That's basically currency to unlock paid cosmetics.
okay.
And then you also get some other like buffier
That's
like
nice.
equipment thingy. So yeah, like
more would do that, so you can get the ones you want and not
Right.
the ones that
Yeah,
you're given.
not the ones
yeah,
you're given.
yeah. I don't think there was any like actually like cosmetics in the battle pass. It's just like you can just use it to buy stuff in the store. Yeah. So Once Human, y'all,
Cool
out now on
beans.
PC.
I love the vibe of it.
Yeah.
That's what really like
Yeah.
grasped me
Yeah.
in it. Just,
I think I was the one who's like, we should play this game.
I know. Yeah.
And now I'm like, I don't want to play it.
just too much.
It's a lot.
Well, I'm surprised that Travis and Sarah are as into it as they. I mean, they play with
Never
me.
into it.
We both literally played 6 hours.
I saw
the
y'all
last
on the
2
other day.
Fridays,
Yeah.
like straight, and like we wouldn't stop. We just were like, okay, let's go out and do some hunting. Let's come back and build some shit. Let's go back out.
If it was controller based, if it had the capability of using controller, I'll probably jump in with you guys because I
Yeah.
can jump in and out and just
Yeah.
not do much, you know?
Yeah.
Just shoot shit. I just want to go shoot shit.
Yeah.
Hopefully
that's
they add a
awesome.
controller
That's cool
capability
looking.
here soon, you know?
Fucking Black Panther, fucking tactical
they got-
Shadow Panther set. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, there's the glass
There it is.
stuff you can get, which
That's
is pretty
cool.
neat.
All right, well, Once Human.
Once Human, check it out, y'all. Out now on PC.